I found her in pieces. May is a model employee. Ask anyone, and they'll laud her meticulous record keeping, her customer service skills, and her commitment to being the first one at the store each morning, rain or shine. No one knows that the motivation behind her commendable punctuality lays solely with the donation bin behind the thrift store. In her defense, there is very rarely anything of value in the outdoor bin. Tucked away almost abashedly into the corner of the parking lot, it is often used more like a trash can than a donation pile by the community. May finds more crushed soda cans and fast food wrappers than she does clothing, but every once in a while someone leaves a real gem. Today is one of those rare days. There are several clean plastic bags in the bin. Most of them are stuffed with large men's clothing, but one bag contains a few women's pieces. Beneath the plastic bags is a surprisingly well-crafted wooden chest, the kind meant to sit at the foot of one's bed and hold pajamas. Though she wants to drag the expensive-looking chest to her car, it is too heavy for her to lift without assistance, and appears to be locked besides. She searches through the bags for a key to no avail, and so she must content herself with a small bag of women's clothes. Glancing left and right for her co-workers, May hastens across the parking lot and slips into her car to look over her haul more closely. There is a pair of stained jeans, a knit sweater, and a disintegrating pair of running shoes. She puts on the gloves she keeps in the center console and picks out the sweater. It is a beautiful piece, clearly handmade with love. It smells horrendous and will certainly be a chore to clean, but it is undoubtedly worth salvaging. Strangely, the more May looks at the sweater, the more she feels she has seen it somewhere before. Perhaps it once belonged to a neighbor, or perhaps it wasn't as one of a kind as she initially believed. Either way, as her manager's car pulls into the parking lot, May sets down the plastic bag, puts on her most welcoming smile, and steps outside to start her shift. In the evening, May returns home. She plucks the sweater from the bag, then ties it off and deposits the rest of the items directly into her garbage bin. Before dinner, she hand washes the sweater with warm water and shampoo. Once finished, she removes the excess water, then hangs it up to dry as she goes about her evening. Hours later, she returns to the sweater. The smell lingers, though it looks cleaner than before. Though still slightly damp, May lifts it from the rack and drapes it over herself. She looks in the mirror. It's a wonderfully feminine sweater, soft and pink with a flattering cut and detailed floral patterns around the wrists. It is almost objectively lovely. So why then does the sight of herself in the mirror make May feel so uneasy? She looks at herself for so long that her face begins to distort. Then she leaves the frame to turn on more lights in the room. When she steps back in front of the glass, she notices a subtle glint near her clavicle. There is something woven into the neckline. It is a relief to remove the sweater. Shrugging off the light material feels somehow like dropping 20 pounds. She finds her sewing scissors and initiates a gentle dissection. After a few minutes, her labor yields a small key. It had not been part of the sweater initially. It had been sewn into a seam in the existing piece, well camouflaged by thread the same shade of pink as the wool. There is no doubt in May's mind as to where this key fits. Tomorrow morning, she will return to the store and discover what is in that beautiful chest she was forced to leave behind. For now, she hangs the sweater on the rack to finish drying and tucks into bed. Sleep does not come quickly. Her forearms smell like the sweater now, despite how fiercely she scrubbed them with soap and water. A strange sensation licks across her skin wherever she made contact with the wool. There is a pit in her stomach, somewhere between guilt and anxiety. What is happening, she wonders, to make her feel so ill at ease in her own home, in her own bed? Thump. She sits up with a start. The sound was barely audible, but she heard it still. Grabbing the folding knife she keeps on her bedside table, she leaves her bedroom, turning on all the lights as she goes. In the living room, she quickly finds the source of the sound. The sweater has fallen from the drying rack onto the floor. It sits crumpled on the hardwood, its arms folded and bent. It seems almost to be curled up in the fetal position. A memory hits her hard. Her, 5 years ago, walking down the sidewalk, enjoying the summer sun. Her, turning her head to the side and seeing a smiling young woman in a lovely pink sweater. Her, lowering her gaze ever so slightly on the telephone pole and seeing the word missing beneath the woman's smile. She calls the police on her way to the store. She meets them outside in the parking lot, voice trembling as she explains, hands shaking as she gives them little key and ushers the officers to the storeroom. She doesn't join them inside to see them open the chest. She doesn't need to. She can tell from the smell alone that they've found her at last. What's left of her anyway?